Alright, so, fun fact, this is actually my second time trying to record this. I actually got through this video, like, and everything went fine, and I thought it went well, and, realized I didn't hit the record button. So, yeah, so, here we go. Hopefully this is recording. I think it is, yep. Okay, so, this is Swap. Swap is the second game in the Arcado series. First game, if you remember, was Jump. Came out on the PSN a few weeks ago. It was really good, and so I'm kind of looking forward to Swap a bit. Swap is a kind of a match 4 game, so if you played stuff like Bejeweled or other match 3, match 4 type of games like that, kind of know what you're getting into. You have the different block types. Some of the kind of the key block types in this game are you see on this menu screen the lightning block type, which if you match those together, match those together. Kind of creates a big explosion that takes out a large radius of blocks around it. And the other big one is kind of the alarm clock block that when you match those together, it freezes time for like 2 or 3 seconds. And then you have these kind of these coins and jewels that are falling down. Those also to use kind of give you a higher score. Now Swap has 3 different game modes. It has a castle mode, which kind of acts as the story mode of the game. There are 5 different levels in castle mode. Between each level, there's kind of a short little scene, kind of filling in the details of what's going on in the story, and we'll kind of get to that soon. And then arcade mode is kind of your typical arcade mode. There's an easy, medium, and hard difficulty setting, and that kind of depends on how fast the game is moving, how fast the blocks are moving up the screen. And then there's a challenge mode that offers a pretty good amount of challenges. I'm not too sure of the exact amount. I haven't counted yet. But I've only played a few, but we can count. There's 2, 3, 4. So 16 challenges. Some of them are tiered. There's like a score 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 type of thing, and so they kind of work like that. But I like there's a pretty healthy amount of challenges in the game. So I've only played a few of them, but they seem like they'll last pretty good amount of time. And it's also I also like that these challenges are actually kind of unique. Whereas the first Arcado series game Jump, the challenge mode was basically the same levels that you played in the story mode, just wanting you to collect all the coins, which I had kind of already done. So we're just gonna jump into castle mode. This will probably be kind of short of a video, because there's not a whole lot of stuff to kind of talk about. We'll just jump into chapter 1. So you have this kind of brief intro to each level. Kind of the intro to the story is you play as this king cat. He's had a little bit too much milk on the beach, and he doesn't know where he is, so he's got to find his way home to his castle. There's a lot of good humor in the game. Kind of same way that Jump had a lot of like really good, nice little humor, kind of embedded within the game. This one has the same style. Same thing. If you pause the game, hides the blocks, has a little message saying, "Yes, we're hiding the bricks. If you can't cheat, so you little yes, we're hiding the bricks so you can't cheat, you little punk." It's one of the things that I like that they include in there. Also, if you'll see on the left side of this, nope, didn't mean to do that. Okay, but you'll see on the left side of the screen, it's the cat, and he makes some funny little kind of reactions to how things are going. And then on the left side of the screen, the higher score you get, the more you kind of work up the way of this little kind of path on the screen, and then once you hit the goal, you beat the level, and that's how you progress through the story mode. And so moving around, you use the left analog stick or the D-pad to move around. I definitely prefer the D-pad for something like this. And then to swap blocks, all you do is just kind of flip the right analog stick in the direction that you want to swap a block in. Now that sounds like it works really well, and for the most part it does. However, I think the issue I was definitely running into last night was when I got to see, like right there. It's really easy to kind of flick the right analog stick in the wrong direction. And especially when you get to level, the kind of the farther levels where things are going a lot faster and you need to move quicker to kind of stay alive, it gets really annoying because what ends up happening is you'll move a block and you move a block left and you want it to move right, and it kind of messes you up, and that's just another few seconds off the clock that you really kind of need to capitalize on to stay alive. So that gets pretty annoying. You'll see here, you know, throughout kind of the castle mode, you get these new items. So this, like an item like this, as well as the coins and stuff like that. All you do is just have it adjacent to blocks that you match. That will explode, and that will net you a few more points. And then, of course, the higher score you get, the faster the game starts going. Now you see there's kind of a dashed line at the top of the screen. If my blocks hit that, I die. So, as you would expect. And that essentially, you know, I talked about the kind of the lightning bricks that you can match, and the kind of the alarm clock ones that will slow down time. The thing about the alarm clock ones, those they only like freeze time for like, it feels like a second. Like, it doesn't really feel like that long at all. So like there are a few occasions where it has proven to be pretty helpful, but it never, like, for the most part, like most of the time, it doesn't really seem all that helpful. It grants you maybe like a second, but it feels like it feels like definitely in the later levels you kind of need more. And you know, as you would expect if you played any games like this before, the game kind of encourages you to try to get more combos, to try and match more blocks than just 4. You know, matching 4 blocks at a time would definitely get you by, like as you see what I'm doing right now. But in order to get a higher score, you definitely want to try and get higher combos and start kind of chaining matches together and stuff like that. But again, that's essentially the game. So I mean, also one thing you can do that I don't really need to do it here, obviously, but if you run out of blocks, if you just hold the R2 button, it spawns more blocks. Now in this case, I got a game over because I let the blocks hit the top of the screen. I meant to do, because I didn't want this video to go on too long, because there's not a whole lot to talk about. That is basically the gist of the game. There's again, if this looks good to you, totally check it out. It is on the European PSN store right now. Same price as what Jump was, so it's very cheap. I still don't have any concrete details about a US PSN release for the Arcado series. Hopefully we get that soon. You know, as I can't really speak for a swap yet because I haven't played a whole lot of it. I've only played like an hour or two. But Jump was good, so I mean, hopefully the Arcado series definitely comes to the US PSN very soon. Because I feel like people there are missing out on some pretty good games, but this seems pretty solid, at least. It's not doing anything revolutionary. You know, you've probably played games like this before, but it seems pretty good. Like, there's nothing too terrible about it. Again, kind of my big complaint is the right analog stick. Nothing you can really do about that, though. So, if this looks interesting to you, check it out. Thanks for watching.